Hey everyone, my name is Jimmy Cox, and this is for NOS 110, and today we're going to be talking about Windows 10 and Microsoft Edge. What is Microsoft Edge? It's the new browser from Microsoft that came out with Windows 10. It was made to eventually phase out Internet Explorer. It's originally referred to as Project Spartan before the release of Windows 10. It's a minimalist browser. It doesn't carry a lot of extensions right now, which makes it really lightweight and easier to run, and it makes it less taxing on resources than other browsers. It's good for people who don't need a lot of extensions. So people who normally use Chrome and Firefox would normally use a lot of extensions like ad blocker and stuff like that, and that's not really supported in Edge yet. The few features that it does have makes it very useful and convenient. Here's a screenshot of what Edge looks like. You'll notice it looks really minimalist and very simple, similar to Chrome, but everything is just, it looks a lot cleaner. You'll notice it has tiles that are kind of reminiscent of Windows 8, and it's kind of just bringing Windows 8 and Windows 10 together into a browser aesthetically. Let's move on to the next page. Some of the new features. Like I stated before, it's a very simplistic, minimal browser, and it's the codename Spartan. What it lacks for in extensions, it makes up for in a few very useful features. It's fully integrated with Cortana, which any Halo fans out there will know who Cortana is. And it's Microsoft's answer to Siri and Google now, and it's essentially a virtual personal assistant. Cortana's search function can search the web as well as all files and folders on your PC, which makes it extremely useful. It's also available on Windows Phone, so it's seamless in between tablets or mobile phones or laptops or desktops. It doesn't just handle searches though. Cortana can also set reminders and add events to calendars and things of that similar nature, which makes it more like a virtual personal assistant as opposed to Siri or Google now. Using Cortana in Edge, if you look at the screenshot on your right, this is one way of using Cortana in Edge. You can just type in the actual address bar, and if you notice up in this area right here, that is actually a symbol showing that I guess Cortana is being used. And whenever you type something and you click that, Cortana will tell you that she can basically handle it for you. So you've got directions, you've got a phone number, you've got hours that they're open, anything that you would need for this restaurant. Whoops. And what you can also do is you can calculate math problems and stuff like that, which is really cool if you just type it up in the address bar, or you can get the local weather, just type in weather, and it will automatically bring up the weather for you in the address bar without you actually having to open up a new tab or a new window. Another way you can use Cortana in Edge is by just right-clicking and choosing Ask Cortana. So if you come across a word that you don't know much about on a web page, you can highlight it, right-click it, and hit Ask Cortana, and that same window will pop up on the right side of the screen, giving you all the information that you would normally have to Google search for, or open up another tab and actually do research to find. It aggregates all the information for you in that one little window on the side. Another feature in Microsoft Edge is Web Notes. Web Notes is a new feature. It's very similar to Sketch, if anybody's familiar with that. It lets you basically kind of highlight, make notes, or scribble, or do whatever you want to web pages. So it's really good for collaborating with other people, or if you're working on projects. Makes it very useful for things like that. In order to use it, all you have to do is tap or click Make a Web Note in the top right corner, and then the Web Note menu will replace the address bar, and then you just use the different tools that you would want to use to either highlight, scribble, take notes, do whatever you need to do. Reading view it allows users to simplify web pages into a format more comfortable for reading. So if you're anything like me, you hate all these ads and pop-ups and stuff that will show up on a web page, or sometimes the way people format their websites isn't exactly conducive to comfortable reading. What Reading View will do is kind of condense it down into more of a like PDF style view, and then you can customize your font size, or you can have like a dark background or a light background, whatever makes it easier for you, and just makes it easier on the eyes. The way you would actually activate Reading View is you would click the open book icon up in the address bar right here, and to customize your Reading View you would just select more actions and then settings. Reading List kind of goes hand in hand with Reading View. It's a feature that allows you to save articles and web pages for later reading. It kind of works like a favorites list, and you can add articles to your reading list and then optimize them to your liking using the Reading View. So in order to do that, you would kind of save an article the same way you would do with favorites. You would go up to the star in the address bar, but instead of going to favorites, you would go to reading list. Then you would name that article or web page and hit add. A couple useful apps that you can use with Windows 10. First that I chose was Dropbox. It's extremely useful, and they released an upgrade that actually goes really well with Windows 10. They upgraded it aesthetically, and it just kind of goes with the flow of everything that Windows 10 is. It's really popular, and it's something that a lot of people are really familiar with already. And it's great for cloud backup and sharing as well as collaboration. There's a web portal that you can use, or you can download the app and install it on your computer and have like a folder on your desktop that you can drag files to. And it kind of just makes things a lot easier. Let's see. You can also invite people to download your files or view certain files while restricting other files from being viewed. Another app that I personally really like, a friend told me about it, is called Trello. It's an organizational and project management app, and you can use it to pretty much organize anything. It's probably the most visual productivity app there is. You make these different columns, and each column is referred to as a list. And each list has different cards in it, and a card can contain anything that you want it to. You could put a video in there, photos, graphs, text, pretty much anything you want. It's basically a cork board with post-its on it. It's just digital. You can use it for anything from starting a business and brainstorming, and which is something that I used it for with a friend of mine with a potential business idea. You can remodel a house, anything like that. It's just kind of a brainstorming, like back to the drawing board kind of thing. In summary, Microsoft Edge is a very simple and useful browser that is still very young. As it stands, it remains very utilitarian, and with any software that's still young and still kind of in its early stages, there's going to be some bugs that need to be worked out, and eventually they'll add on more and more features, which may or may not affect how fast it actually works. It renders web pages faster than the competition due to it not being weighed down by those resource-heavy extensions, and that gives it kind of a lighter footprint on the actual machine as well. So it uses less resources and lets everything else kind of run a lot smoother. The few features it does have, they prove to be intuitive and convenient, and Dropbox and Trello are both apps that are great for productivity and collaboration. Both of those apps are available for Windows 10 as downloadable apps or in a web portal, whichever one you prefer. And that's the end of the slideshow. Thanks, guys.